Creepypastas have long been a laughingstock on the internet. I don't think anyone's ever read a creepypasta story and then feared the toe-sucking demon from the story would come that night to suck the jam from between their hairy toe knuckles, but only once they fall asleep. But just to bend over and expose myself to you real quick, to prove to you that I'm not perfect. I may seem like a god, but I'm just a mere mortal human like you. A couple years ago, I had a creepypasta phase. I would go on YouTube and just like this, search up creepypasta. See, it's still a search term that I have saved, I guess. And I would look through the stuff like this, like, why I drowned my wife in the bathtub. And I'd say, sounds great. I'll listen to it. And I didn't really listen. I didn't really comprehend the words, but I still would listen to them. I don't think I ever listened to a creepypasta that actually scared me. Besides this one right here, Baraska. Baraska and then Baraska V, which is the afterwards. I don't think this really counts as a creepypasta. It's more of like a short story. It's about C.K. Walker. I really enjoyed this. You know, I didn't intend on shouting this out, but it popped up. You got to listen to that. It's a great story. It's a total of probably like 6 hours, and I listened to it when my power was out. I had it downloaded. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. It actually probably is the cause that I started reading books again. I might make a video about that eventually, but I've been reading too also. No one cares about that though. If you see this man on the side of the road, don't drive him home. Or don't drive home, sorry. But I would watch all of these. I would watch almost every single one. I would go to various different pages just to find these. I got a job at a local fast food restaurant, but the night shift rules are insane. It'd be something about you have to go feed the monster that lives underneath the McDonald's Chicken McNugget sink at exactly 3:01 a.m. or he'll eat your face. That'd be one of the rules. I fondly remember a phase from my creepypasta days though, where I would only listen to these McDonald's creepypasta and like Disneyland creepypastas and all these like major brand creepypastas. They were so bad. They were so bad. I'm gonna find a few of them to show you here, just so I can prove it to you real fast. Ronald McDonald House. I remember listening to that one. Don't go to the old McDonald's. Disney Catacombs, I remember listening to that one. I do remember the Disney mascot one. I thought it wasn't that specific one right there, but it was about like the Disney mascots. God, this is bringing back such bad memories. I feel like such a loser saying this on camera. Well, I don't know what made me enjoy these, but I pleasantly enjoyed them. I'm just a weirdo. I'm just a weird guy. I thought this would be a good idea to just hop on here and make fun of creepypastas real fast for how bad they've gotten over the previous couple years, and compared to how they used to be decent. Now they're absolutely just garbage dumpster fires of jumbled words and a bunch of fanfics of Slenderman porn. But I'm just finding myself, I'm just roasting myself right now. So let's just go ahead and transition over away from me being a major loser that Naruto runs through my middle school. Let's talk about some creepypastas, I guess. So the plan for tonight is about 1 a.m. when I'm recording this. I didn't intentionally do that, but the plan is to give ourselves some good old cock and ball torture while we read some good old creepypasta. We're going to start off, obviously, with the Slenderman one I read. I seen Slender in my dream last night. He wasn't chasing me or hunting me or anything. He was just walking with me in my neighborhood with his hands intertwined with mine. I thought this was going to turn into a Slender fanfic, a Slender creepypasta lemon, I think is what they're called, where it's like the tentacle porn stuff with Slenderman. Weirdos on Wattpad, basically. Talking to me and being there for me while bad things were happening in my dream. I feel sad because, well, I always seen him as a father figure. I woke up and it wasn't real. I thought it was cool, so I'm sharing this little piece of my dream with you guys. Forgot to say that part of my dream was the only peaceful and calming thing that happened. They clearly weren't shown enough love in their life, so they've took to the Creepypasta subreddit to write dreams about their daddy Slenderman. I felt so greasy saying that. I felt like such a basement dweller. Repeating the phrase Daddy Slender. Daddy Slenderman, baby. Stick those tentacles up my orifices. Slenderman, of course, is the original when it comes to, creepypastas. I don't know if he's the first, but he's obviously the biggest. He actually turned made a girl a murderer. She killed her best friend for Slenderman. That was a whole thing. But Slenderman, he's had his games, he's had his movies, very bad movies. But, he's the biggest face in the creepypasta game, the biggest cock on the creepypasta block, one could say. So, naturally, Creepypastas about slender porn, Slenderman tentacle porn were just the natural step, the next step of evolution for creepypasta writers. They had to step over into erotica and creepypasta lemons, like I mentioned, to keep the interest there, to keep the fans around for Slender, because that's what they're here for. And in these stories where people will have sex with Slenderman, I would say most of them being underage children, they're, you know, hanging out with Slenderman. They're his proxies is what they are. They go out and do stuff for him. They're like his servants, basically. And they describe his reproductive organ, his little cylindrical phallic object, as either tentacles, is what he uses, or his slender cock, his Slenderman cock. But don't get that mistaken. It's always massive and veiny. That is always the description. If you really want to dive down the rabbit hole of Slenderman erotica fanfics, creepypasta lemons, go to Wattpad. Wattpad is the home for people shipping creepypastas and stuff. They'll make these like creepypasta crossovers where they'll do like 69 on the table, and then like another pair of creepypastas will be doing like scissoring each other in the corner. It's some wild, wacky stuff, man. It gets insane over there on Wattpad, man. Those Wattpad people got some real good imaginations on them. Here's one that looks pretty promising. Shatter, slave to his passions. They got a full comic book covering everything, man. Let's start reading this one. I'm not going to be starting from the beginning of the story. I'm just going to start to where I can get into the good stuff, because I don't want this video to be like 30 minutes long. These things are like full books. Speaking of Maka, where is he? Taking a nap. He'll be up in an hour, but Cam, are you sure you can't help me? I bit my lip. Next time I see Jeff, I'll try to talk to him, okay? She grabbed me into a hug and squeezed tightly. Thank you. I forced a smile, pushing her away by splaying my palm over her face. Too much contact. She laughed and ran her fingers through her fiery red hair. You want to go hunt later? Help me get things off my mind? Seemed like a good idea to me, and I agreed, leaving afterwards to go find Smexy, another character, putting away some things into the room that was always safe for us. I wrapped my arms around him from behind, and he made that purring sound I so love to hear, turning and scooping me up, easily making me giggle. How's my girl? I blushed ever so slightly. In need of kisses, of course. He smirked and lifted my chin into his eyes. His lips crashed into mine, and I allowed the torturous kiss to go on for a while before he pinned me to the door roughly, hands roaming all over my body, tugging at my shorts and my plain white top. My hair spilled over my shoulders and face as the hair tie was removed, and one of his hands grabbed a fistful as he tugged it back, exposing the sweet, soft skin of my neck for him to suck and nibble on. I let out tiny moans of pleasure, my fingertips sizzling with electricity as they roamed over my body. Please! The word slipped from my lips as he let out a primal growl, instantly ridding me of my shorts and panties. He wasted no time. His 2 fingers were immediately stuffed into my slick, heated core, making me let out a cry of pleasure. I love when you're like this, he praised, his tone deeper and sexier than usual. Do you know how long I've been waiting for this? A few moments... If a few hours means long, then sure. I didn't reply though, and my heart thundered in my chest as if his tongue licked over my. Okay, yeah, you get the point. There's some weird stuff on Wattpad. You can find erotica, creepypasta lemons for everything, anything and everything. Fun fact: there was a girl in my high school that was writing Transformer erotica porn fanfic stuff. Someone found it, showed everyone around the school, and they showed me. I had to act like I didn't like it. Like it was weird. Like it was something that I was afraid to look at because it was so frighteningly scary and odd. But it turned me on. Now for this part of the video, I just want to prove my point that creepypastas truly don't make sense anymore. It's just ramblings of a lunatic. It's like they went into a lunatic asylum, like a Arkham Asylum, and told the craziest inmate there to write a story. That's basically what's going on. The topics are just, you know, everywhere. The themes are everywhere. They just have like 10-year-olds writing these at this point. It's such a joke. It used to be something that was taken as kinda seriously, and now you just got people doing the erotica stuff as well as what I'm about to read you. But now, without further ado, let's go ahead and check out Panties the Pancake Diner, where eating pancakes is a crime. Quick note, 1, this is my first creepypasta. 2, for the 0 people who think that this is real, It isn't. Okay, good. It's not real, so we don't have to get too scared. In the restart. In the early 2000s, when I was 8, my family decided to go on a cross-country road trip. God, I can't read. My older brother had mixed reactions and I didn't like the idea, but we went anyways. When we were in Arizona, we got hungry. We ate all the snacks that we packed up for the road trip, but lucky us, we came across a diner. Panties the Pancake Diner, where eating pancakes is a crime. There it is, the title in the story. That's where everyone just erupts into cheers in the theater, or in this case, on the Reddit forum. The mascot, Panty, was a humanoid figure wearing a Every creepypasta has to have a humanoid figure, because that's creepy, always scary. A humanoid figure, those little blurs that you see running across in the top 10 creatures spotted on YouTube videos. The mascot Panty, humanoid figure, had a pancake stack topped off with a piece of butter as a head. So he was a pancake body with a butter head. Sounds like a cool mascot for a diner to me. The easiest way to tell that was the giant statue of him outside. What? When we entered the place, we saw a counter with 3 cash registers, a condiments area with 2 fountain machines, a bubblegum machine, some TVs, and the crown jewel, an animatronic Panty. When me and my brother went to sit down at the table, I saw that a spring was exposed on a seat. I questioned why it was there and sat on a different table. Naturally, why is there a spring? That's weird. Eventually, our parents came to the table me and my brother were at. My dad sat on the seat with the spring and quickly stood up. When I bit my burger, the meat tasted funny. Okay, we're jumping all over the place. His dad sat on a spring, and then his food already came out. He already got a burger. He bit into the burger. Tasted funny. That's just so fast of a jump. Talking about entering the diner, there was a spring. It was like an old chair or something. It was poking out. Your dad sits on the spring and jumped up because he's not gay. Nothing goes into that butt. And then he bit into a burger. Maybe it's like a time skip arc, like for One Piece or something, but it's just very quick turn of events. After a few hours, my mom had to use the bathroom and went to come back instantly and say that it looked like no one had cleaned it in 20 years. I went into the men's room out of curiosity and found crap on the walls. That just sounds like a high school bathroom, at least my high school. A sink with a destroyed and leaking pop, even more like my high school. And a lack of walls between toilets. That's literally a school bathroom they just walked into. On my way back to the table, I discovered something I didn't see before, an arcade. I told my family, my mom gave me and my brother some quarters, and we went off, only to see that most of the games being out of order. Okay, I thought I read that wrong, but I didn't. Only to see most of the games being out of order, and the ones that weren't had something broken. So we went back and was grabbed by a man dressed up as Panty. He dragged us to the employee break room. Okay, I don't like where this is going. Grabs a paper and pencil, then proceeds to draw something on a note. He can't speak. He's in character like a Disney mascot. He can't speak while he's in the costume. Why does he have to rot? My brother quickly got up and ran out of the room, screaming. Eventually, a security guard comes in with my brother and parents. The police were called, and me and my brother were grounded for the rest of the month. We had to sleep in the car in Panty's parking lot due to us not having enough gas, and the closest gas station being miles away. Turns out the note was a ransom note. Dude, this is jumping everywhere, man. There's so much going on. They got the cops called on them for what? For going to the arcade? And then their mom was mad and grounded them, but they couldn't go home. So they're grounded to sit in the back seat because they broke down also. Can't get away from Panty's Pancake Diner where you can't eat pancakes. So we got to witness the place being officially shut down while the tow truck my dad called towed our car. Then we went to the gas station next to the tow truck zone and got some gas. We went to our car, put in the gas, and drove back home. Happy ending. You always love to see it wrap up neat, nice, and taut like a Christmas present under the Christmas tree. Man, my mouth is so dry after reading all that nonsense. Jesus. I got a mug that says my name on it, by the way. But yeah, I hope you had some pleasure in talking about creepypastas with me. If you have any that you find especially bad, you know, comment them, I guess, if anyone's going to watch to this point. And see you next time. Peace out. Another thing I wanted to show you, if you just scroll through like any creepypasta channel, you have some weird stuff like this. This is a more obscure channel, I would say. I ate a grilled banana from a stranger. Now I think You should too.